Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. Just in relation to being contactable outside of sessions. So I mentioned earlier in an earlier video that I turn my phone off, my business, my work phone off on the days I'm not working. Um, so and when I'm saying I've always offered. So if someone's really struggling and they're in crisis, I offer them the numbers for Samaritans, Pieta House, SOSAD, or the emergency services numbers. That's always a given that they can contact them. But a lot of times people want their therapist, as they consider you their therapist, and you're their link to their wellness, what's happening for them. So it depends. A lot of people again don't want to walk, and that's absolutely fine. That's your choice. If you decide that's it, I've a no zero policy, zero contact outside of that's I respect that. Um, I kind of bounce between the two. I don't really want people contacting me out of sessions, but I also don't want to hear a couple of days later that the person harmed themselves, which has happened in the past. They've harmed themselves, and now I'm hearing about it. I would prefer to be contactable when I'm available, and I'll offer them, like, you can send me a voice note. There's a good chance I won't hear it. I'll hear it when I'm working, but you can always send me a voice note. So that's what I offer as a contact outside of sessions. Or they might send a text. And I consider my work phone, that's what I'm saying about the separate phones earlier. My work phone is like work. So if the client recognizes that they are talking to me, my feeling is that they're sending their stuff, what they're dealing with in the moment, to the therapy room, and I'm going to hold it for them. They don't have to carry it around with them anymore, and that's why I'll offer a certain level of contact outside of sessions. Now, things I won't tolerate outside of sessions, and I have it in my contract, and I'll talk with the contract in the next video. Um, the if someone contacts me outside of sessions, which, as I said in an earlier video, someone contacted me while I was on holidays in Spain, and when I hadn't two phones, this is the luxury of having two phones. When I was in Spain, it was my personal phone, and it was being inundated with text messages and phone calls and demands to answer because I wasn't available to them on on their time of need. So in that sense, in my contract, what I do is any inappropriate contact outside of therapy may end therapy. So that's in my contract from day one. I'm not arguing with it. If someone becomes that inappropriate and are kind of demanding my time, yeah, I'm not a 24 hour. Nobody's a 24-hour therapist. I have to have my time for my mental health back as well. So I don't tolerate that. But I will tolerate very gentle if you need to send a message down and you want to reply. Like I might not need a reply. I might hear it when I'm free and have a listen and see, do they need a reply, how are they feeling, and I may send a little voice note back. I know there's a lot of people out there say that'll breach, blah blah blah, but my thing is I would prefer to be there when I'm available to support someone than hear about them being taken away to hospital or worse. So contact outside of therapy is a very personal thing for each person. You can boundary yourself in it. You can be very protective of yourself and your client in it. You can be very structured in it. Especially for people who don't necessarily have structure or boundaries in their life, this can offer them something where the knowledge of, actually, this is not someone that's going to leave you. This is not someone that's going to abandon you. This is someone that's going to get to you, but in their time. They're not saying they don't want to hear from you. They're there. And you can send a little voice note down to me, and I'll hear it when I'm ready. And I don't give any promises that I will definitely reply to them. I will say if I have time, I will get back to them, but we'll definitely talk about it on the next session. So it may just mean that when they send the voice note, before their next session, you open the voice note, have a listen to it, they walk in, and then you say, I got your voice note, can we talk about that now? And that may be all they need. So it's the fact of that you're not cutting yourself off for them, and they're kind of going, oh, well, the one person in my life who's there, which essentially is what we are, the one person in their life that feels that they get all the support has abandoned me. We don't want anyone thinking like that. So my feeling is, yeah, we don't want inappropriate, we don't want constant contact. It'd be too much. If you have 20 clients and they're all allowed to contact you any time of day or night, you have no life. So very boundaried, very structured, very controlled, very safe, and we both know what this is about. We both know why we're doing this, and it's to support the client. If you don't, if you decide I don't want to ever have any contact, that's absolutely fine. That's fine, and this is just my thing because I've dealt with a lot of suicides over my life, and I don't want that. I don't want the knowledge of someone. And I'm not going to exhaust myself, turn my phone on when I'm Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going, oh, it's only messaging me. I'm not doing that. I'm saying, well, that's my time. My phone is off, and when it's on, that's when I'll get the message. And everyone knows this. I'm very clear about this. But they know as well that they have somewhere to send it. Like, as if you imagine that they're down the tunnel into therapy, down the tunnel into therapy. I'm not carrying it. We'll talk about it next week. And I found that to be very, very beneficial. So just consider the contact outside of sessions. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.